If you have a skill set or know more about the thing than others, and people are willing to pay you for that knowledge, then you can do that remote just by saying, I cost 20 euros an hour and you can book in a call with me and I learn you how to cook over a Zoom because you're good at cooking. The thing that people come to you for advice is also the thing that you can make money from. In the end, what you need to do is being able to provide value for a company. And that's how you can land a remote position. How can I work remotely? That question is the most asked question under my most seen video right now. That's the one in Bali, where I explain how the whole Bali life went and all of that. And I'm gonna be back in Bali, so that's gonna be fun. And the most asked question there is, what do you do? How can you work remotely? Okay, cool that Bali costs 2K a month on average, but how do you get that remote? So I've met countless and countless nomads by now through my podcast, of course. I've interviewed over 24 nomads, or at least business owners. I've met countless nomads through Nomad World Fests, a conference in Bansko, Digital Nomad World Fests in Albufeira, and also through all my travels, of course. And people ask me this question, like, how can I work remotely? How can I have that lifestyle? And that's what I want to dive into in this podcast. So I'm Baltes. I'm the co-founder of Clarity Craft Consulting, where we help expert founders, so people who already have a business, optimize their whole backends with integrating AI agent workflows, optimizing their sales processes, and everything. I've worked remote for the past 2 years, 2.5 to 3 years-ish. And of course, we're going to talk about those positions that I had, the positions that I have right now, and also the countless and countless of other remote jobs that do exist that you don't even know exist. So watch this video, this podcast, listen to it, whatever is your preference. And probably by the end of it, you find a course to decide your fate, something. So yeah, let's start. When I started, that's good to know. I started in sales. My first job after I was kicked out of school was sales. I wanted to do sales because a friend of mine was doing sales and he said, oh, you could do it remotely and you can travel the world. And I like talking and like, yeah, I can talk to people and sell people things. So I started in sales and I wasn't good at it. So I did not earn enough commission to keep myself sustainable, keep my head afloat, lived on crackers for 2 months, went broke, all of that. So don't do that because I already did that. But it is a position that allowed me to travel in the first place at some point. So I started at sales, first remote, but I wasn't good. Then in-person sales, selling dog food. And then at some point I got a remote position, fully commission-based, where I was a closer for marketing software. And that's what I did then. So I sold software and developed a skill set. And I think the basic fundamental to be able to work remote, or the basic fundamental in life, is develop a skill set. So my first skill set that I developed was sales. And at some point I got the remote job where I did it as a freelancer, commission-based, to sell marketing software. And that allowed me to travel. And while I traveled, the 3 most common remote positions are copywriting. And with copywriting, you can think of a couple of things. You can think of ad copy, you can think of blog post copy, email copy, post copies on LinkedIn, being a copywriter for someone's Twitter profile. So those are all ways to sell with words. That's copywriting, sell with words. That's also what I do for one of my clients right now. I'm a copywriter right now. But the acronym on that is that I was only able to get that copywriting position because I had my sales position first, sold marketing software. So then I learned my first skill set, sales, second skill set, marketing, and third skill set, put those sales into words and marketing psychology, and then you have copywriting. Another skill set that can lend you a remote job right now is AI. So that's what I do with my current company where I'm a co-founder. We integrate AI agents, workflows, and all kinds of technical stuff there through couple like bounding APIs together or working with webhooks or make.com, and then dive deep in those yourself, those softwares. In the end, what you need to do is being able to provide value for a company. And that's how you can land a remote position. Another way to do that is again through skill learning. So, for example, my video editor who edits this video because I don't have the time to do that, has a skill. He can edit videos. And because he can edit videos, I am able to pay him. But he doesn't need to be near me to edit videos. So being a video editor is a job that I've come across countless times while traveling. Having an agency, marketing agency, learning how to run ad, learning how to do all of that. That's a remote position that you can create for yourself. Being able to drop ship. So a dropship or e-commerce, that's a big niche. But again, it always comes back to developing a skill set and put that skill set to use to bring value. What are other remote positions that are not that much heard of right now is just go on LinkedIn. Go on LinkedIn for a remote position and search for it. I know someone who is an app tester, so you can literally test apps and do that remote. I know people who are coaches, a lot of coaches, and that's the thing. If you have a skill set or know more about the thing than others, and people are willing to pay you for that knowledge, then you can do that remote. Just by saying, I cost 20 euros an hour, and you can book in a call with me, and I learn you how to cook over a Zoom call because you're good at cooking. The thing that people come to you for advice is also the thing that you can make money from. And if you don't have things that you're really good at or that people would come to you for advice, then find those things and learn skill sets, because the basics of creating something for yourself is skill sets. For example, speaking towards the camera right now, I know a lot of people are camera shy. That is a skill set. Also, being an influencer, that's also a remote position. But when you become an influencer, know that it's a hard path, because you don't become an influencer from one day till the other. I've met Sergio Sala, so really big content guy. Really, I also met Luke Magic. I always say his last name wrong. Like Sergio Sala has like 30K followers. I know Prince Havens, he has like 80K followers right now, and Luke has 20K followers right now. But that did not happen overnight. That happened because they put in consistent work of creating videos that are appealing to people. And now they were able to monetize that and get money for that. So that is a way to land a remote position. Another friend of mine, Gabriel, he is also in the Bali video actually. He is a trader. He is 21 years old, really disciplined, and he put in a lot of work to be able to trade on funded accounts. So where you can trade with 1 million without owning 1 million, and you get a percentage of the trades that you make. But also there, he was able to do that because of skill sets. His skills of understanding candles, his skills of understanding psychology, his skills of understanding what needs to be done. Also, a really good way to sell yourself and work remote is through Fiverr. Go to Fiverr and see what people need. Do they need thumbnail designs for YouTube? Do they need personal assistants? That's a big niche in general. PAs, personal assistants, or VAs, virtual assistants. And that's just answering people's mail, replying to customers for e-com businesses, anything like that, or organizing people their mail, being a content manager, like making sure that you upload all the content that comes in on the right timing, and all of that those are tasks that founders don't want to do because they cost a lot of time, but that you can do in exchange for money as a freelancer. Or maybe they hire you and you get a contract. That's even better because then you have more benefits and less of the downside as a freelancer. So the possibilities are endless, but in the end, it comes back to you. And that brings up another question, and that is, how do you know what type of remote position works for you? So in my case, I started in sales, and I'm really, really thankful for that because it allowed me to develop a skill set and a network. Then through sales, I learned marketing that allowed me to gain knowledge about the specific skill that others don't have. How to persuade people online to do shit, and how to position your company, and how to sell offers that actually sell, how to create offers that actually sell, how to put up a client journey, how the whole marketing end of a company actually works. And that allowed me to set the next step. And that's copywriting. That's what I do right now, so I don't have sales calls. And from copywriting, that's one of my main clients. I have my own company with my co-founder. And my co-founder has the skill set of AI. He can create all the workflows. He can create AI systems, AI agents. And then we combine our skill sets to optimize the backend of our own company. But we can also do that for others. So in that way, we bring value to the table. And value, just to put that in perspective, I got this from Alex Ramosi, comes through the value equation. Value equation works like this. You have dream outcome. You want the dream outcome of your client as high as possible. You have perceived likelihood of achievement. How well does the client see themselves succeed through your products or service? Then you have time delay. So how long will it take before they see any results? That's also a big retention trick. Make your client have the first win really quick, because then you trigger their emotional bias towards you. And then you have perceived likelihood of achievement, effort and sacrifice. You also want the effort and sacrifice that someone does to be as low as possible. And the outcome of that, if you have like a really high perceived likelihood of achievement, really high dream outcome, low time delay, and low effort and sacrifice, the outcome of that is value. And that's how you can evaluate your skill sets. That's how you can evaluate your offer. If you can edit, that's good, because your perceived likelihood of achievement is that you get an outcome in a shorter amount of time, or in the time that I don't want to spend on it. The perceived likelihood of achievement becomes higher when you build a portfolio, because people can see what you do. The dream outcome is me having a cool video, and the time delay. So if I send this podcast to my editor and it's done by the end of the day, it's way more valuable than if it's done by the end of the week. Because the time in which it's done, it's shorter, and time is money. So the quicker something is done in the right way, the more valuable it is. And that's the same with copywriting. That's the same with AI implementations. Like, people pay for time. And the shorter the amount of time costs to get a certain outcome, the more they will pay for it, because the value is higher. Then also the effort and sacrifice. I only need to record this video, send this raw video to my editor, and he does everything. Then I still need to do the scripting. Then I still need to make sure that the lighting is okay. I still need to buy my own microphones to see if the audio is still a bit good, or at least better than when I just would record it with my iPhone. I need to sit here in front of the camera, so there's still some effort and sacrifice. But, for example, with AI, you can clone me. And if I would get an AI clone, and I make a Notebook LM podcast about a certain topic that I want, and then I put that Notebook LM podcast into 11 Labs to make that Notebook LM podcast with my voice, and then I put that Notebook LM podcast with my voice through the AI clone of me that I made, I would have like an AI video. through a topic that I just thought of based on the questions that were underneath my Bali video. But then I don't need to do anything. My effort and sacrifice is really low, and the perceived likelihood of achievement is high, and my dream outcome is high as well. So then the value of that is higher because I don't even need to put in any effort. If someone would come up with the idea, hey, I saw this and this underneath your video, I can create a podcast for you about this and this and this based on an AI clone that I made of you, and the quality is really good and will be edited and everything, then I would pay X amount of money for that. If the quality is good enough, of course. So those are ways of thinking to provide value that allows you to work remote through the skill sets that you have. Copywriting, marketing, sales, technical skills, AI, all of that. Even cooking, you can make cooking a skill. So that's it. It's not difficult, but in the end, you need to put in the work and also see where your talents are. And if you don't know where your talents are right now, then start doing. Start doing. That's how you learn. And when I started in sales, I didn't have ChatGPT. You have ChatGPT now. Use it. Use it. But again, AI is an amplifier. So be critical. Read books. Read books about the topics that you want to learn from. A really good book, for example, is everything from Alex Ramosi, from $100 million offer to $100 million leads, through his new book that's going to come out really, really soon in August. Really looking forward to that. $100 million money models, all from Alex Ramosi. Gold to read. A really good book I love as well that's on personal development is Straight Line Leadership from Dusan Dukic. Really valuable. It learns you how to be disciplined. It learns you timeless principles on how to make distinctions through things. Another really valuable book on networking and how to network and how to be good with people is How to Influence Friends and People from Dale Carnegie. That's a good one. All of those books, like, learn them, read them, study them. Find a way to position yourself for either a company or to create your own business. And here's the trick. This trick is golden, because a lot of people will say, yeah, but I don't have any skill sets yet. What do I need to do? That is your biggest advantage. You just come to a company and say, hey, I want to learn this, and this. I'm really diving into it through reading this book, following this course, following this guy on YouTube, and I'm really digging into it. But I want to learn. I just need to make my reps. Can I start working here for free until I'm good enough to earn money for it? And you can just do that on the side, besides like delivering pizzas or anything. Like in my beginning, before I was able to work remotely and go wherever I want because I didn't have any skill sets, I was literally working 80 hours a week, doing cold calling during the day, having 4 theater classes that I needed to teach in a week, and did bartending 2 to 3 times a day, 2 to 3 times a week. 80-hour work weeks for almost no money because I wanted to learn a skill set. In life, you have either 2 components. You either have money or you have time. And if you don't have money, you trade your time to get money. And if you have money, you trade money to get back your time. So use what you have. If you want more, to learn more in less time, hire a coach. Buy a course. And when you buy a course, just think of one thing before. Who do I buy the course from? It's really important. Did they walk the walk and did they talk the talk? So did they do what they're selling, and are they still doing what they're selling? That's a really important one, because if their main income stream is from the course that they're selling, but then they don't do the thing that they're selling a course on, then you're gonna be scammed. All those things add up to building your dream life and building a remote position for yourself. If you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to learn, and if you're willing to provide value. At least in my journey so far, and of course, like, I still have a lot to learn. That's what brought me the most value. And also from all the people that I talk to, that's what they're doing as well. Like, they put in the reps, they put in the work, they put in the effort to create the position for themselves. And if you say to yourself, yeah, but I have XYZ and that's why I cannot do it, poor you. So what? Like, this sounds a bit harsh maybe, but the world on itself isn't a fair place. I am privileged. Yes, that's true. I am privileged. Why? Because I was born in the Netherlands. That is a rich country. I have parents who love me. I was rich enough to go to school, and like, I I am privileged purely because of the country that I was born in. So what? If you go to every story of every founder, they all have a zero to hero. They all have their own shit. It's up to you what you make from it. And if you want, this is also from Alex Ramosi, I'm a big Alex Ramosi fan. If you want the prize for having the hardest childhood, congrats, you get it. Now what? My video editors are not from the Netherlands, but what they did outreach to me. They asked if they can edit for me. And I said yes. What they did by doing that, no matter the country where they're from, they did outreach to me and said they wanted to provide value. It does not matter if you're privileged or not with the background that you have, or the mental psycho things that you have. Like, so what? No one gives a shit. If you want a certain thing, you need to put in the work. That's the easiest equation I can make for you. And every excuse that you tell yourself for not doing the work is the thing that stands behind you and the results that you're getting. Because in the end, there's only one person you can look in the mirror to, and that's you. So do outreach to people. I don't know where to find them. Ask ChatGPT. If you can watch this video, you are privileged enough to create your own outcome. If you can watch this video, you're privileged enough to create your own outcome because you have ChatGPT to your disposal. You can do this, you can watch this video, you have the time to watch this video. You can do whatever you want. There's just one distinction that you can make there. It's like, do you consume or do you create? What I'm doing right now is I'm creating this video to provide value to the people who want to work remote. And I do that through sharing my knowledge, through the conversations that I had and the people that I met. I am creating something. I put in my time and effort to create this for you. You consume this. And by definition of it, you're not creating because you're consuming. If you want to have a life at your disposal that you want to be proud of, you need to create more towards that life. You need to set more steps, take more actions to get that life, then consume about that life. And of course, there's a healthy amount of consuming that you need to do to learn, to read books, to do everything. But then you also have the personal development trap where you think you're never good enough. Just take action. Just do. I always say to my business partner, I said it in the last podcast, I say to a lot of people, fuck up and find out. You do things, you don't do it well, you see what goes wrong, you do it again, and you do it better. And that's with every remote position you will ever get. That's with every position you will ever get in your life. That's the cycle you will go through. Yeah, I think if you literally would listen to all of the things that I said in this podcast and take action on it, it's unreasonable that you are not getting a remote job. It's unreasonable. Learn a skill set, do outreach, ask ChatGPT, work for free, provide value. And if you provided enough value, ask money for it. It's not the model that's not working. The model is just a vehicle to get you to a certain outcome. It's you that's not working. If people ever succeeded in a certain business model, it means that the model is working. It's you that's not working to provide a certain outcome. for yourself, because you're either consuming too much, you have too much excuses, or you just don't take action. You're not creating. All right, that's it. Visionaries, I hope this video was valuable. I hope you got something out of this. And if you have any more questions that you think I can give you an answer to, put them in the comments. And I would love to read them. I would love to get back to you and provide value, because that's what I do. At least what I'm trying to do. So yeah, then I would say like, subscribe, follow this on wherever you're listening to it, and I will check you out in the next one. Ciao, Visionaries.